So welcome to this podcast here with me, the Benidorm fanatic. So I'm here now with Chris Carter. How are you, Chris?
Not bad.
Are you? Fabulous, fabulous. So I've got a few questions to ask you about your time here in Benidorm, and I'm going to delve into a few questions about your personal life. Are you okay with that before we start? Fantastic. So question number one, you have a few tribute acts here in Benidorm. Can you tell us more about that?
So I've done tributes for a few years. At the moment, I'm doing an Ed Sheeran one and an Eminem one. We also do a bit of Black Eyed Peas as well. But at the moment, that's just them three.
Awesome, awesome. So I love your Ed Sheeran as well. That's amazing, and your Eminem is so cool and fresh. But yeah, that's one of my favourites. So, what is your favourite to perform and why?
The Eminem one,
All right.
by a long way. It's more exciting. It's more in the moment, and the music's better. So, and I just enjoy it more.
Well, I have heard that a lot. A lot of people do like watching your Eminem performance, and it is insane. It is the coolest, freshest thing to come here, in my opinion. So, how can you remember so many words in the Eminem?
Honestly, I don't know. It's something that just happens. So my mind's it's like a sponge in a cage. So when
Okay.
something goes in, it kind of just stays there rattling around for a bit. So, but yeah, I spent maybe 6 months learning the set. Rap God itself took about 2 weeks listening to the song, and I mean that's got a lot of words. It's got 1,600 words in one song.
Oh wow!
But then yeah, that took about 2 weeks listening to it all the time, headphones over and over and over.
Over and over again.
But the best way I find to actually learn lyrics is listen to the song while trying to sing it while reading the lyrics.
Okay.
Because then you generally find that you learn information in three different types, so either doing it, seeing it, or reading it. So
Okay.
if you do all three at the same time, you kind of get it in there.
You get it in there, your head's like a sponge. I mean, that's amazing, isn't it, really? I mean, that's one of the questions that most people ask me as well. How can somebody remember that many words? I don't think I'd be able to do it myself. So the next question, and let me just get it back up. Okay, so you've got a UK tour coming up. Are you really excited about that UK tour?
Yeah, it's something it's new for me. It's a new venture. We're only doing it with the Eminem show, and we're doing it in February 2024.
Awesome.
And we're looking at the moment at about 10 venues we've got booked in.
Okay.
We're looking to increase that to about 15, so we'll do the entirety of February. We got some really good venues across the entire country. So yeah, no, really looking forward to that.
Oh, you're a really busy man. Do you ever get any sleep at all?
Yes and no. I generally finish about 2:30 in the morning by the time I pack up, sort of stuff out, home and everything. 3:30, 4 o'clock when I go to sleep.
Okay.
I tend to try and get up between 9 and 10 a.m. as well, give or take. Okay. If I can squeeze it in, I'll get a siesta.
Oh, right.
But, I
Okay.
don't always manage to.
Typically Spanish, get an afternoon siesta in there. Yeah, I was just going to ask that as well. Yeah. So, how many venues do you play in here around Benidorm?
With the Eminem, that's exclusive to Talk the Coast.
Okay.
And that's every night 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
So that won't work anywhere else because I've got the deal there with the manager.
Okay.
Ed Sheeran works in a variety. So my primary venue for that is Zodiac, and I do there 6 nights a week, mostly 9 o'clock, but I do a 10 and 11 as well. I also do other little venues like Valentine's and Tropical, which is further out of town. Buddies, Tommy's, just all the little venues for that one. But Black Eyed Peas we do Morgan's Tavern with that, we do Rockefellers with that, and sometimes over the coast.
Oh, okay, so you do get about.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna now ask you a few questions about your personal life, if you don't mind. Is that okay? So I'm gonna straight go. So if you was to be sing with any performer, who would it be? Other than obviously the tribute acts that you do.
One name springs to mind, and it's somebody I've threatened to work with for years. It's Robin Beckman.
Okay.
So the guy is incredible. He's a guitarist, singer, performer, proper showman.
Fantastic.
And his music style is more indie, more rock.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, we've been talking about working together for a while, and we're looking at something at the moment for next year.
Okay.
Together. So yeah, and I'm hoping as well next year I'm going to put him on stage in Eminem as well.
Insane.
Which is going to be good because with the guitar and it's going to be great.
That is so cool.
That'd be my number one choice.
So you've got more and more things coming up as well, some more exciting things coming up. How long have you lived in Benidorm, and why did you choose to live in Benidorm in the first place?
Well, Benidorm, I actually fell into Benidorm. It wasn't actually a choice. When I moved here in 2007, it was actually in Malaga, a place called Benamanda,
Okay.
which is further down south. gorgeous place, and I was working in the hotels. So what happened was I came on holiday when
Okay.
I was 19, and I went into the hotel, and the entertainment there really fascinated me because I'd never really been abroad properly, and they had this team that would go on stage every night and do activities, games, quizzes, all sorts of, the really
Okay.
cheesy
Like an
holiday.
entertainment sort
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a sign on the wall saying that they wanted British entertainers.
Okay.
And I'd had a couple of beers with my mate who was with me
A
on
couple of
holiday,
beers. I love that. A couple of
and
beers.
I went, do you know what? I'm going to go for that because at the time I was working in a Windows and Service company, just building Windows and Services, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Exactly. Yeah. You'd
yeah,
expect that from a
didn't
singer.
expect that, did
Yeah.
you? No, but yeah. So I just went for it. I went and spoke to the guy, and he was like, "Yeah, well, when you go home," and I was supposed to leave on a Sunday, and he said, "Well, would you stay? Just
Stay.
stay if you
Okay.
want, and give you a 2 week trial." I had €50 in my pocket,
And
and I
that's how you
stayed,
started.
and that was it. Then that hotel shut down the entertainment, and he gave me two choices. He said I can either go to Barcelona or Benidorm. I didn't know either, and he recommended this place because it's got more British, it's got the tourists, everything
Yeah.
like that. So I literally got on a coach
Came to
and
Benidorm
came to Benidorm.
with €50 in your pocket.
Well, by this point, I'd already been working.
Okay.
€50 when I first stayed in Benamadina,
Yeah.
€50 in my pocket. But I had free accommodation. The wages weren't great. The food was free in the hotel and everything. So it was a great, especially when you're young. It's something I'd recommend for a lot of young people if they want to go travelling. Get into the hotels, get into the entertainment. It might not be the best thing in the world. It might be long hours, but it's a great way into the industry.
Way into it.
And
And have a few beers as well. That'll give you the confidence to do
yeah,
it.
always have a few
Beer is
beers.
responsible
Always,
for a lot of good things, isn't
always
it?
have it. Well, it is and it isn't. I say drink responsibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I did, and then I came to Benidorm and just built from then. So yeah, and I've never looked back.
Okay. Awesome. That's interesting. Do-do-do. So that answers that one as well. Do-do-do. So a bit more about you now. I know mental health awareness is important to you.
I think at the moment mental health awareness isn't just important to me; it's important to a lot of people. It's something that's been highlighted a lot, and a lot of people tend to either shun it off or pretend it doesn't exist.
Especially in men, yeah, they do that a lot,
They
don't they?
do
Yeah.
it, man, but I don't see it as a sexist thing
No.
at all. Dogs have anxiety.
Yeah, of course.
So we can't categorize between sexes.
Yeah.
Everybody has it. Yeah, men maybe deal with it a bit different, like they keep it inside a bit more.
Yeah.
But then I know women that keep it inside. So I think it's not a condition. Sorry, it's an issue for a lot of people. Myself, I've been through some dark. I've been through some dark times.
Okay.
Up here, not physically in the world, but
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes this isn't a good place to
Good
be.
place to
Sometimes.
be.
And
So how do you deal with your mental health? What's your mechanism?
I had the only, I had a mental breakdown 10 years ago.
Oh God. Okay.
And a full blown collapse of my mind.
Okay.
At the time, I owned a bar in a village called Alfaz, and I was doing that 10, 12 hours a day, and
Oh,
then
wow.
doing shows at night. And then one night, as I left the bar, I felt like I was walking on sponges.
Yep.
Weird. And I felt very intoxicated, even though I'd not been drinking.
Okay.
And I started hallucinating.
Okay.
And just my mind went, and then I ended up in hospital. And they told me that I had a mental breakdown.
Oh wow.
Which, at the time, I was like 26, 27.
Oh wow.
So I didn't believe it.
That's very young to go through that trauma as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think I put too much on myself over the time. I wasn't living healthily either. I was drinking a lot. I was working all the time. I never really took any time to just relax. And that's one thing I would say. If anybody's struggling with mental illnesses or mental health problems, there's two things you need to do. The first one, and it's the most important one, is talk to somebody.
Yep.
Reach out because you think you can control it yourself and keep it all inside, but that's the problem. That's the problem with mental health. You keep it all inside, and it's only you that plays with it. And then you've got no advice, you've got no help. But then I would say as well, if you're going to speak to someone that's either been through it, going through it, because it's very hard for people to understand if you've not been through it. And that's the same with anything. It's the same with anything.
Of course.
So when you try and speak to someone that's never had a mental condition, doesn't understand it, they don't seem to understand that it's a thing. So I've suffered with I had a mental breakdown, which caused me to have an acute anxiety disorder.
Okay.
Which gave me anxiety attacks. Back then, I used to get them every couple of days, and they would make me ill for a full day.
That's amazing because you don't come across the sort of guy that would. So, because you perform, because you're on stage, you seem like the most confident person that'd have not a lot of anxiety. But that's amazing because you don't come across the sort of guy that would have anxiety because you perform, because you're in front of a lot of people.
But then I'd say on that, again, that's the same sort of thing where the understanding of mental health, you can look at anybody and they look like, you know, when you were younger, when you were a kid, and you look at adults and you think they've all got their stuff together.
Yeah, of
and
course.
you always think, oh, well, when I'm older, it's going to be great, everything's straight and narrow. And sometimes it isn't. And I don't think that people understand mental health has nothing to do with what you do for a living.
No.
It has nothing to do with who you are, what your persona is. And we mask a lot of things. A lot of people mask a lot of things. And so I think for me, not pretending, but kind of acting like it isn't there.
Yes.
When you get your job to do, just get on with it. I mean, these feelings are going to be there anyway.
Yes.
It's the same as like emotions and feelings and anything like that. They're going to be there anyway.
Yeah, of course.
So you've got something to do. Go out and do it.
So is that why it sort of, that goes in line with your tribute act? Because that's like putting a mask on, isn't it? Because you're tributing something else. It's sort of similar.
Yeah. 2, 1, 2.
That goes in line with what you do. So you sort of, when you do a tribute act, you put a mask on as well, don't you? Because you're acting as someone else.
Yeah, I think when you do any tribute, it's you kind of put a front on because you have to kind of portray the person that you, I say pretend to be, but the person that you're doing a tribute to. So you kind of try and learn from that person and be a bit more like them on stage. But then for me, I have to swap from 2 very different characters. So I have to swap from an Ed Sheeran, which is quite a humble, polite, sweet character, without a bad word said about anything.
Yes.
And then I have to completely go the opposite way.
Yes.
Where Eminem, very outspoken, very knows what he wants, says what he wants. And that for me, I get to kind of be 2 people or both sides of me. So when I do my Ed Sheeran show, I get to kind of be nice, polite. I speak to people, I have a joke, I have a laugh, and I enjoy that. And then when I get to the Eminem, it's kind of like you can release anything. So, and I find that actually works and helps with any mental stress, any problems you've got in the day as well, because the show's so aggressive. You kind of get to release all of that in quite a healthy way as well. So yeah, it's incredible when you meet some people and you think, wow, they're really confident, they're really brave, they're really strong, they're powerful. I mean, I know a couple of guys that are bodybuilders, and these guys are machines, and you would think they're unbreakable.
Of course, yeah.
It doesn't matter how big you are, how strong you are. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. The mind does what it wants.
It's very difficult.
So it's very difficult to control it.
Well, this is it. It's like the more I get to know more performers and more people, you get to understand that it's all in here. A lot of it is in here, isn't it? And what the outside perceives something very different to what's going on in someone's mind.
It's not that it doesn't interest me. I'm just not interested at the moment because I'm focused on everything I've got going on, where I need to be, where I want to be, and that's it at the moment. But yeah, when it comes down to, I'm not good at noticing it. See, for me, when I do a show, I'm not there thinking, oh, she's nice.
Yes.
Oh, I like her. That doesn't enter my mind. Yeah. For me, is everybody entertained?
Yes, of course.
Is everybody enjoying themselves?
Yes.
Some lady can smile at me in any intention, and I have blinkers on, and it's just, they seem like they're enjoying themselves. So that's where I am at that.
I have noticed that when you're performing, you're totally in the zone, aren't you? You're sort of aware of what's going on, but you're not because you're too busy entertaining everyone.
When I do Ed Sheeran, it's a little different. With that show, I kind of get close and personal with people. I have a chat or I laugh with them. I stop singing, do a bit of talking. When it comes to Eminem, it's tunnel vision. Because with the speed of the songs, keeping the rhythm in my mind, and then the lyrics, I tend to, and it's very strange, I tend to think of the words that are after the ones I'm saying.
Okay.
So what happens is if I get distracted, and it happened, I think the first week I did the show, some guy was to the left of the stage, and you know how on your phone you can put on like words, so it comes up with that. And I think he'd put a name of a song, and he'd come to the side of the stage and held it up to me like this. And for a second, I looked at it, and as soon as I read it, that was it. The lyrics in my mind vanished. And then I ended up stopping. I just stopped the song. It was the first song. I just stopped rapping. And that was it because it threw me off. So yeah, now I'm very tunnel vision.
Okay.
Nothing gets, people walk in front of me. It doesn't matter. I'm
just focused on. I've noticed that when you are performing, because obviously, I know you quite well. So we're seeing you, like I'm like waving and stuff, but you're like in your zone, aren't you? You're just sort of like totally in with it. So yeah, so ladies, you wait before you queue around the block to see him. Okay, just wait. Um, so what was the other question? What's the other question? I need to stop saying him as well. I hate doing that.
Yeah, so as you got any surprises for 2024?
Yes. Yeah.
Anything coming next year, etc. Don't worry about the noise outside.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. So, have you got any exciting things coming up? Have you got any different performances? What's happening in the future?
I've got a couple of things. So, a show that I'm working on at the moment, which is called Mr. Brightside. That's not a tribute. That's going to be a show with songs that I want to sing, because you spend so much time performing stuff thinking, "Are the audience going to want this?" And I've got them shows now. I'm quite comfortable with them, so I want to do something where I just sing stuff
This is
I
about
want to
you
sing.
enjoying yourself a
Yeah.
little bit more. Yeah.
Put songs in like "Take Me to Church" by Hoyser,
Awesome.
Ragabone Man, Human, just a bit more gritty, earthy sort of stuff for me. Also, though, I have this past couple of weeks, I've also started writing my own album,
Okay.
which I'm hoping, I've been speaking to a couple of people recently, I'm hoping that I'll be able to release that next year at some point, maybe
Fantastic.
late in the summer. It's going to be a like a long play album, so maybe 9 songs.
Oh wow.
Which is 90% is going to be rap.
Okay.
I've got somebody looking at the music with me at the moment and everything like that. So that's going to be something up and coming, something new, and something I've never done before as well. And it's all original stuff. It's going to be stuff that I've written.
Amazing. Amazing.
Which, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So am I. Can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see that. I've noticed your posters and your artwork. So how did you do that? Because they're really good.
Well, I make everything myself as much as I can. I try and keep everything in house. It's just I prefer working on my own things. So, but when it comes to the posters and that, is years and years of just self learning on programs like Photoshop, After Effects, and just all different programs. My first couple of posters I ever made were terrible. They were garbage. They were absolutely garbage. They looked like they were made in paint. So, or when you use an app online, and you just layer things on top of each other, and it never really has that effect. But now, no, I use Photoshop. But then, like for example, the Ed Sheeran poster, that took about 3 days of 10 hours a day.
Okay.
To make that, so about 30 hours that took to make that poster, and it's a big file. It's about 7 gig on my computer, so it's a big file because it has so many layers, effects, and everything on that poster is made from scratch. So you have to design every little aspect. The Eminem poster, that one's a bit more simple. It's a bit of a cleaner poster. You wouldn't believe as well how the photos go into it. So the photo on the Eminem poster is kind of me leant down on one knee, with my head down. Now that photo was actually taken in the hallway of my home, and I was on a table.
Okay.
And then we took the photo on that, and then had to edit it out, and then make the poster. But yeah, all the artwork I do myself.
It's really good. It's really good. But I know, like what you said, it takes a lot of learning to get to that point to do that, doesn't it? It's like me when I'm doing my TikToks or my videos here on YouTube. To do the thumbnails and stuff, it takes a lot of learning to get to that point.
Yeah, it's the same with anything. I say this to we get a lot of kids come on holiday here, and they're always asking how they can be a performer or how they can be an entertainer and do it. They go, I'm scared, or I'm worried, or I don't know what I'm doing. And I always say, like, I never knew I could do any of this. When I came out here and I started as an entertainment, as I said earlier, that was just I fell into it, and then I fell into performing as well. It wasn't something I actively seeked out. So a lot of these youngsters that want to get into things like this, they've already got the upper hand on me. Because it's already something they want. It's already a passion. So, and I say, look, the first time you do anything, anything, it's not going to be good. It's going to be hard. It might not work out. It might make you feel like, well, I'm no good at it. But this is the thing. This is where your staying power has to come into it. This is where you need that push. And it's not from anyone else. External people can say it and can give you as much push as they want. But that drive to keep going through, no matter how bad it is, or what you think about yourself because you're not good enough, or you are good enough, or whatever, that drive is what gets you to the next level. For me, when I did Eminem, I've wanted to do it for 10 years. And I never have, because I've never thought I was not vocally ready. I never thought I was mentally capable of doing the show. And then it gets to a point where, you know, you have to just jump in. And for me, with this show, I said it's going to work or it's not going to work. But if it doesn't work, it won't be because I don't do it.
Because you did do it, yes.
That's it. It won't work because of external reasons. And yeah, so when it comes down to anything like that, just do it.
That's quite inspirational to a lot of people at home as well, to see, to have that, you know, to have that. And you've inspired me actually by what you've just said, because I've got my first hosting gig here tomorrow, and you're here for that, for the charity day, and it's the first time I've ever done anything like that. So hearing that from you is quite inspirational. Like, don't expect it to go well right away.
No,
you know?
quite the opposite.
Yeah.
Be confident. Expect it to go well,
Yeah.
but if it doesn't,
go
don't
well.
don't take that as a when it's over, I can't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, you know, Lewis Hamilton wasn't the best Formula One racer the
Of
first
course.
time he sat in a car.
Yeah.
So, you know, it takes years of practice. Sometimes not. Some people are naturally gifted at certain things. I wasn't. I couldn't sing. I couldn't rap or anything. So all this is just self-focused, self-made. And I assume the same as you. You've got a lot of new ventures.
Yep.
You just grab it. And I think what the biggest thing is too many people now are so scared of failure because we're raised in a society, and this is always gets me, where you're not allowed to fail in school.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to. You have to pass your exams. You have to be best. You have to succeed. And that sort of mentality when you go into anything is good. It's good to have, don't get me wrong, but allow yourself to fail, because how else are you going to learn? How else are you going to improve?
That's true.
So that's what I'd say on all of it.
That's true. I mean, exactly, that's the thing, isn't it? It's just learning from everything as well, you know, and improving every single time that you do something. So I think that's everything for now. But thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow for the charity day as well. So you're going to be raising some money, hopefully, for charity tomorrow here at Sunday. And please subscribe to Crisp as well on TikTok. You can also subscribe to us. If you like us, don't forget to love us. Hit that subscribe button at Sunday TV. You can also follow me at the Benidorm Fanatic, and don't forget to follow Crisp as well for more updates on what's coming up again in the future as well.